Imagine a planet of little TJ lasers, all highly skilled in weapons and biotic tactics, with me as absolute ruler. If you don't want to be a part of this incredible vision, then you can get a space taxi back to Planet Idiot.
I'm TJ Laser, expert with lasers and phasers. Definitely discouraged.
Where are we?
Lasers and phasers. Lasers and phasers.
What is up, everybody? Welcome once again to my YouTube channel, and today let's go for our inaugural round of the AOC Adrenaline Online Championship Racing League. We are going for the Asia Pacific Championship with our first round at Albert Park. So without further delay, let's get ourselves started with our track introduction, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Albert Park. 5.3 kilometers of tarmac, 16 turns go around the lake that is located right in the middle of the public park of course, Albert Park. 10 corners to the right and 6 to the left will be traveled 29 times this evening, and although the track is quite narrow and twisty at some points, overtaking is not at all impossible, with the approaches to the turns 1, 3 and 13 promising some action, as the DRS zones that precede them are ready to facilitate the track battles. We also have very few spots where the drivers must take into consideration some contact, of course, into turn 3, especially the track tightens quite a bit, so they are going to look out for that. We don't want any repeats of the incident between Alonso and Gutierrez a couple years ago. As you guys can also see, we have the C2, C3 and C4 compounds available to us. The softs, mediums and hards, of course, are now denominated the tires in this current season of F1. Two strategies available. You can go from softs to hards, stopping at lap 8, and those that are a bit more comfortable with their pace and tire management can extend them to lap 11 and take them to the end on a set of mediums. So with that, we can get ourselves going into the lobby real quick. Let me just get into it. Okay, so open the spectator menu, and why don't we look like we have sound from the cars? That is, let me get someone on the outlet. Yeah, we don't have sound from the cars. Can I go to the audio settings, audio volume? I am supposed to have audio from the car. Okay. Well, I guess we don't have audio from the cars, ladies and gentlemen. Nice bug. Okay, let me just sort everything out in my second monitor. But yeah, everyone in chat, welcome to the live stream. How are you guys doing? Oh, I can finally listen to something. Not sure what it is though. But yeah, we're going to follow with Revo. Looks like he's going to be the first one to get a flying lap. And as you guys can see, we are going on board with the Mercedes driver. He's going to get up through the gears, wait for the 100-meter marker on the left-hand side. He missed the apex a little bit, but gets on the power as early as possible through turn 2. Once again, second DRS zone of this circuit. Once again, 100 meters away from the corner is where you go on the brakes. Still trying to get acclimatized to the track. Misses a couple apexes there. Be smooth on the power through turn 4. Flat out to turn 5, and now just wait for the braking zone right about 70 meters away from the corner. You go on the brakes, clip the apex. Very nicely did Revo as he gets now up through the gears to this section. Very tough to spot the braking zone, at least for me, but he managed to get it nice well. Not as easy though on the power application. The car snapped a little bit on the rear. He managed to control it and keep off of the wall. Now one of the most crucial sections of the track, corners 11 and 12, take as maximum speed as you dare. After that you can open the DRS, relax for a little bit on the straight before approaching this corner number 13, one of our overtaking spots on the track. Corner 14 is done very quick. You try to get the full width of the track before going hard on the brakes for corner number 15 and smooth on the power through 16 to ensure a good exit and to complete a lap. Let's see what he does. He's going to make a 121.2. Gets provisory pole. Of course, he's the first one to cross the finish line, so he's gonna get that lap time. Apollo Pepsi's teammate makes a 124.5 on hards, unfortunately for him, and he goes on the wall. Is that over for him? I don't think he has retired, but he is on the wall, so not really. Oh, that was a bit of lag there, but yeah, not really the smoothest of starts for the qualifying there from the Mercedes. Let's get ourselves following with Racel, who just started his flying lap, the Ferrari driver. Let's see what he does. In our first sector, he's going to post a 26.9. Let's see what he gets now through this middle sector. We're going to get on board. We can understand much better the lines, and you also have the telemetry down below. You guys can also see where the guys are going on the brakes, how hard they are going on the brakes, and how smooth they go on the power. Of course, that's also always stuff very helpful for some of you who are trying to learn something by watching how other people, quicker people, play. As he gets through the second sector, he's now into the third one. Only about 3 corners to go. Could have taken a little bit tighter, turned in a little bit sooner, would have helped him a little bit to clip the curbing. Gets now on the power again, a little bit too wide on entry, but he managed to keep it within the track limits. He's going to cross the line with a 121.6. Gets himself P3 he beats one of the Mercedes. Of course, he's not the quickest so far of the soft runners. Pencil on his Toro Rosso was able to do better than the Ferrari driver. Let's dive in. Speaking of a Toro Rosso, let's dive into the onboard of its older brother team, Red Bull, as we have Anthony, the Indian driver of the Red Bull, is about also to cross the line. Oh, that was quite a bit of understeer. I don't know, does he have damage? Oh, he does have damage, so he's probably going to abort the lap. I don't know if he actually adds damage after contact with Pencil, because they were both in around the same place on the track, so not sure if they had any contact with each other. Though his teammate might have better luck. He's going on the mediums on his flying lap now. That's 27.7, so he's already losing almost a second to the quickest first sectors. What he does. In the meantime, we had Nimble Hill take the Williams to a respectable 4th place with a 121.7, as every other cars are out are on the pits, or some doing their out laps, as it is the case of the bottom 3. 2 guys on the hards and 1 driver on the softs. The only representative of the McLaren team, the Grey, is on softs on his out lap. Torpedo is just about to start his flying lap. We're going to jump to him soon, but first we have a combined YouTuber closing his lap. Let's see what kind of lap time he posts on the yellow compound, the yellow marked medium tires. Is going to cross over the line. It's going to be a 1:23.8. Gets him the best time out of the medium users so far, so not too shabby of a lap. Degree looks like he nullified his lap. He went back into the pits. Let's see what Torpedo does. He's on the hards. Only Apollo Pepsi, I believe, has made a lap on the hards. He's currently 6th place. So let's see if Torpedo, that has the Mercedes as his reference, let's see if he can beat Apollo Pepsi. Of course, right now he's about to finish 2nd sector, 51.6 overall. Let's see what he does then. 3rd DRS zone for him. About to get into corner number 13. Like smooth on the entry, smooth on the exit as well. Let's see what he does through 14 now, as we have yellow flags in sector 1. Revo gets a 5th place grid penalty for collision with Speedlust. Maybe Speedlust had a spin or something and Revo couldn't avoid him, and there's a 5th place grid penalty for the Mercedes driver. Quite a bit of a setback as Torpedo crosses over the line with a lap time almost 1 second slower than his other rival that was on hards, as Apollo Pepsi is out of the qualifying session. It's the 2nd crash he has on that section. Torpedo managed to avoid him somehow, and very well done to avoid that. Mercedes keeps going on, but Apollo Pepsi, unfortunately, the first crash didn't take him out. He made sure to take himself out with that second one. The Maranello baby is going to cross over the line on the hards, sets the best lap time of the hards, also beats some of the medium runners as well. Very good lap time, 1:22.8. Not too far off of the soft runners, comparing, taking into account the difference on a tire compound. Now let's take a look at Revo. I'm sure he's taking it to the pits. Yeah, it does look he's taking it to the pits. He probably got damage from that one. And we have Anthony still in the pits. We have Speed Lust on his outlap, but he no, he doesn't have damage. It looked to me like he had damage for a second. He's going for it then. We have Degree first. Degree is further up in the lap. He already started this lap, but he loses the rear, goes into the wall. There's carbon fiber all across the rundown into turn 3, and he's going to have to let everyone get past. He actually retires from the session. I don't know if it is advised, considering the AI might take over and cause chaos, but I'm a gamer. Is also on his flying lap. Let me take a look at T-Mac, where he is. He's further behind. Speedlust, is he ahead of Gamer? Yes, he is ahead of Gamer. So I'm going to follow Speedlust, then jump to Gamer, and then T-Mac. one of the Renaults on the mediums, the another one on the softs, and then the Alfa Romeo driver on the softs as well. Unfortunately, the Grey wasn't able to get himself a lap time during this qualifying session, so he's going to start from last. Last is going to get himself this third DRS zone. Let's see what he does. He might get even a little bit of slipstream. Oh, almost a little bit of a misunderstanding there between one of the Red Bulls and the number 65. As I'm a Gamer is disqualified from the session for going in the wrong way. So maybe he had the spin and trying to recover the car. Got disqualified from the session. Very unfortunate from the Alfa Romeo driver. Speedless crosses over the line, doesn't beat Maranello Baby. Maranello Baby keeps himself ahead of the Renault despite going on a harder compound. But Speedless, out of the medium runners, gets the best lap time so far. So, let's get ourselves running down to the Red Bull driver. As I'm a Gamer, actually we got information that he left the session. Don't know if the game just crashed on him or not, or if he just left out of frustration, which is understandable. But let's take a look at the Indian driver of the Red Bull. He's about to get himself through turns 9 and 10. So it's very tricky spot. I think he actually clipped a bit of the grass with his front left wheel there under braking. Not sure how he did not lock up that one. But yeah, that could have been a bit ugly for him. Where he gets the line a bit slow. He's actually going down to 5th gear, which I find a little bit too slow through there. Nonetheless, and himself now at the end of the third DRS zone. That's where he gets to corner number 14. Nice and early on the power as well. Heavy braking zone down to 2nd gear. Could have been a bit earlier on the power, but he's doing what he can, I believe. Anthony's going up through the gears. DRS is wide open already. He's going to cross over the line, and it's going to be a 1:27.1 that apparently was nullified because the actual lap is not posted on the standings. So he's actually not. He actually nullified this lap, unfortunately. So he's going to have to try again. Let's see if he's going for it. Or if he's coming back into the pits to fit a set of softs and then go at it again. So, while we wait for him to close his lap, we're going to take a look at the Williams of Nimble. Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy there on the way to the pit stop. I don't know who it was. I think it was Rystel. Yeah, it was Rystel racing Nimble there on the pit entry. Guess every second count when people are trying to get their management of the traffic. But yeah, we have Anthony Torpedo waving a little bit there, but got out of the way on time as he's on the outlap. Looks like Anthony got a bit distracted by that though, because he went quite deep there to corner number 13. Much better 14 through the 15th. He also missed the apex there, and he's actually going to abort his lap time. He's going, I guess, he's gonna bolt on a set of softs on his car and go for a flying lap. Speaking of flying lap, let's get ourselves started with Torpedo, currently in 10th place, but I don't believe his previous lap was posted on a set of softs. I believe it was either on a set of mediums or hards. So he is, for sure, at least in theory, he is going to have a much better chance at improving and overtaking a couple of the guys. Apollo Pepsi, unfortunately, with his crash out, he is currently in P9. He's not going to be able to defend himself. He might actually start from outside the top 10 if Anthony manages to get past the Mercedes as well as the car you have on your screens at the moment. But yeah, Apollo Pepsi, very unfortunate, at a respectable time, that 124 on mediums, but nonetheless it might not be enough to get him a spot on the top 10. Let's see though, DRS wide open once again for a Torpedo. Let's see what he gets through this third sector. A lot of corners that you can get very easily wrong. You have to really commit to it, especially through this corner number 14. You have to just throw the car in and hope it still on the track limits at the end of it. Nice change of direction there, smooth on the power, gonna get the RS wide open up through the gears, is gonna cross over the line with a 123.1, brings him up to P6. Very nice lap indeed from the Toro Rosso driver rather. Okay, so with that we can move to, let's see who's on a flying lap. I think the Maranello baby is on a flying lap on his set of mediums. Speedo does his best to get out of the way. The number 49 is gonna try to improve of that. He got that to 122.8 on hards. If he can get 1 second faster than that, approximately, he was slower in this first sector. He was 15 thousandths of a second slower than his time on hards, which is a bit surprising to me. But nonetheless, it is what it is. He's going to actually abort the lap, perhaps, because he went back down to 0 on the ERS thing, so he might have nullified his lap. Spencer is still in P2, Russell in P3. Revo is also going for a flying lap, looks like. Not really sure why, to be honest, as he's going to get a 5-place grid penalty nonetheless. So I would prefer to save the tires, but yes, he's going out there at least for practicing laps. As we have Maranello about to start his flying lap, unless he's going to bring it to the pits. No, he's actually going for another go on that set of mediums. That's going to be his second lap. He might have degraded the tires a little bit too much, even though we didn't improve on his previous flying lap. He wasn't improving through sector 1, so maybe he can be a bit more aggressive and get a bit more time there, as Revo finally retires from the session. It's like Pencil as, oh no, he actually goes out, crashes and retires from the session. So he's not going to improve on that 6th place. Looks like he's going to try and start on hards. Combined YouTube also retires. Russell is on his outlap. Pencil is on his flying lap at the moment. He's going to try to take pole position, or at least trying to defend himself, because at the moment he is the pole seater, considering Revo's penalty. Let's see what he does. Yellow flags are starting to show up as people start to retire. A little bit of a tank slapper there from a Pencil, but he managed to keep the car under control. He's 2/10 slower through the first sector, unfortunately for him. He's gonna have to up his pace, find an extra gear to be able to improve. Not really as quick as he was on the previous lap. Another bit of a tank slapper there as he comes out of turn 10, accelerating over the curb. The car usually does not like that, and he almost put it in the wall. He managed to recover a bit compared to his previous lap time, but he's still losing time. About 1/10 he's slower this lap compared to his previous one, to his personal best. Speedless completed the lap as he gets shown the checkered flag. T-Mac, his teammate, also crosses over the line. None of them improve their position. They might have improved their time, but they don't improve their position. And Pencil is going out. We have Rysel. Let me look at him. Yes, the Renault is going to cross the line. Is he going to improve on his previous lap time? He's going to cross over the line. It's going to be a 121.5. He does improve by a tenth, but not enough to see him climb any positions on the table. And Nimble Lil also retires from the session. He didn't improve enough to get himself up to P4. So I guess that is going to be it. It's going to be it for this session. The game is just, it's going to wait for the game to recognize that everyone has completed their laps or retired. So yeah, we once again, while we wait, I can give you guys a rundown of the tire strategies. But yeah, as you guys can see, Revo with a 5-place grid penalty. Pencil starts from pole. Rysel P2, Combined YouTuber P3, Nimble Lil P4, Revo P5, Maranello P6, Torpedo P7, T-Mac P8, Speedlust P9, Apollo Pepsi P10. And then we have Anthony Degree, and I'm a gamer who I don't think he has come back to the lobby since then. So let's see how that one goes. But yeah, in terms of the tire strategy, we the people who start on the softs can take them for 8 laps and switch to the hards. Those who start on the softs can also extend them to lap 11 and end the race on mediums. those who started on hards can basically do the reverse, pit in about lap 19 and take the softs for 10 laps. The car is lighter on fuel, so you can do a bit more laps. And those who started on the mediums can basically do the reverse, really. They can take them for about 17, 18 laps and then switch to the softs. Of course, you need a little bit of better tire management to pull the soft to medium strategy, but maybe some of our drivers today can pull it off. Maybe they are that confident on their ability to conserve the rubber on these Pirelli tires and take home the one stop on that more daring option of tires, I would say. So Revo has left the session apparently. Okay, maybe the game crashed on him, but yeah, we have unfortunately the Mercedes driver is out of the session, which is a bit of a shame, because looked like Pencil and Revo were very close on pace, at least to qualifying. Rysel was just 3/10 behind Pencil, so we still might have a fight, a very close fight for the win, especially as they are both getting it on the front row of the pack. But yeah, looks like Nimble Hill and Revo, they might have crashed. I don't know what happened, but unfortunately looks like they are not going to take part of the race. So getting ourselves ready, I want to see the tire, I want the telemetry, I want the lap data, for those of you who like those stats on the screen. And I think everything is sorted out, so you just have to wait until the end. Just have to wait until the end of the formation lap to get our race underway. Revo joined. I don't know if he's going to be able to take part in the race though, unfortunately. But let's see. The autopilots took over, I believe, for some of these cars. At least Pencil is going very, very slowly. Just do a thing real quick on my second monitor. Real quick. Okay. So everyone is getting lined up. We have Pencil on pole, Rysel P2, Combined YouTube P3, the Maranello baby P5, as Revo was before dropped out of the session. Torpedo in P7, as Hill, I believe, was in P6, dropped out as well. T-Mac in P8, Speedless alongside his teammate in P9. Apollo Pepsi completes the top 10. Then we have Anthony Degree and I'm a Gamer. Let's see how it goes. That Renault on the right hand side looks quite lonely, as we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. They are going to go out and we have the race underway. Let's see how it gets on the start. One of the Ferraris, Maranello baby, with a very good start. We also have Combined YouTube and Rysel Pencil. They gets a bit sandwiched, but he misses the braking zone into turn 1 and he's already dropping places. He's getting himself pressurized by Apollo Pepsi, who gets himself up from P10. What a great start from the Mercedes driver. Then we have Pencil battling with Torpedo. Pencil is trying to recover the positions as early as he can. Goes around his teammate, or maybe his teammate let him go as well. And he recovers a little bit, moves up to P4. The top 3 have already pulled away quite a bit, as Rysel is trying to pull away from Combined YouTube. Both of them already got a few cars length away from Maranello. Of course, Maranello is starting this race on a hards, so it's going to give him the disadvantage early on, but it might give him a very big advantage later on this Grand Prix. You have yellow flags for something that happened further behind. The Gree also moving up to P6, getting past Apollo Pepsi. So Pepsi, despite his very good start, the Gree looks like got an even better one, as we have a T-Mac maybe trying to have a go at Anthony as they are battling it out. 4 P8 softs on the Renault, hards on the Red Bull. Let's see it goes about those two. T-Mac wasn't able to put the power down as quickly as he wanted and has to stay put in 9th place for the time being. Rysel pulled away from Combined YouTube at the end of the lap. Maranello still in P3, starting to form a bit of no man's land for him, as we have both Toro Rossos completing the top 5. You have Apollo Pepsi going for the pits Looks like he's going to change for a set of mediums, and he's going to also fix his front wing. So the number 13 is going to get back racing with a brand new front wing. I'm a gamer is I don't know, did he retire? I'm not sure what's going on with him, but maybe he retired from the session. Yeah, maybe he retired. Let's take a look at the back. Combined YouTube is still staying within 3/10 of the car ahead. So let's see how this battle develops, because Rysel, I'm pretty sure, needs to have the smoothest sailing he can possibly get, especially since Pencil, we know how fast Pencil is, but Rysel wants to take as big of an advantage as he wants from the misfortune of Pencil into turn 1. But Combined YouTube is not making that job easy. He's not really letting him pull away. The Red Bull driver is still right on the gearbox and rear diffuser of that Ferrari. We have a couple of yellow flags. Degree moves up to P6. Was it T-Mac, Anthony, Speedless maybe? Torpedo having issues there. Torpedo drops down to P9. Don't know what happened to the Toro Rosso driver, but he has very big damage on his front wing, on the on the left side of his front wing, and is going into the pits for a replacement of that one. Rysel, through the beginning of the lap, looks like he's better, more comfortable through the third sector. He's been pulling away. He's already got half a second on Combined YouTube through that last sector, unless the Red Bull driver make any mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, there's one for the Ferrari driver. Rysel goes very wide out of turn number 5 and has to concede the position to Combined YouTube, who now takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Maranello baby might try to take advantage of that. No, he was just trying to break the slipstream to not close in too quickly on his teammate. He knows that he must not battle his teammate. They are on completely different strategies. Of course, I'm sure Maranello wants to win the race as much as Rysel, but for the time being, he knows he has to keep himself cool. He needs to just save the resources, use the RS, try not to get too involved in a battle, as Rysel had another mistake through turns 11 and 12, and Maranello manages to pick up the RS and move up to P2. So Rysel had the race under control. He was already pulling away from Combined YouTube through that last sector, but unfortunately throws it all away. What happened there? It was Rysel with another mistake maybe, and he's dropping down to Pencil. Look at how this race has turned himself upside down. We got ourselves Pencil back ahead of Rysel. The Grey, starting from the back outside of the top 10, is up to P5. What a brilliant race from the McLaren driver so far. Looks like we have permanent flashing yellow flags on the electronic boards around this Albert Park circuit, unfortunately for our drivers. It might cause any confusion if there are some yellow flags. Let's see, or at least to me. And there's the wall. Speaking of yellow flags, there's a McLaren on the wall. He did well to avoid the Renault that is trying to do his best to not get himself in the way while recovering the car. But it is very unfortunate. Looks like he got on the curb or maybe even on the grass coming out of turn number 5. Finds himself on the wall. I just praised his very good start. Looks like he managed to avoid damage. I don't see damage on his front wing, so maybe he can still recover from that without having to go into the pits. Of course, most likely locked up the tires, trying to stop the car, and the tire wear is gonna take a knock. The tire life is gonna take a knock for sure, especially as he was trying to get the medium to soft work. He might have to adapt, he might have to go medium to hard, but let's see how that one develops. But still in the top 10, it's still an improvement compared to his starting position, and he is currently rather alone. Let's see how it develops for him. Jumping back to the front, Combined YouTube he has a clear road ahead of him and not really anyone capable of bothering. Rysel, he was struggling with the softs. Instead of waiting for the lap 8, he's going to pit now, and he's going to pit for a set of hards, in fact. So Combined YouTube is going to undercut him by at least 3 laps. Looks like Rysel, yeah, especially through the last lap, he was really going wide, especially through turns 11 and 12. So he was really not feeling comfortable on that set of softs anymore, deciding to change for a set of hards. But as I was saying, Combined YouTube has clear road ahead of him. Maranello, of course, is doing very well to keep himself within a second, to keep himself getting the DRS, and that way being able to manage the fuel and DRS a little bit more effectively without losing as much time. But he's on the hards midway through the race. Of course, once combined YouTube makes his pit stop, he's going to come out of the pits on fresh tires, and Maranello will spend quite a few laps on older tires, older and perhaps harder tires, depending on the choice of compound for the Red Bull driver. Looks like the Red Bull driver made a mistake there. The gap dropped to less than half a second, as we have the Grey also overtaking Anthony. So Anthony making a mistake somewhere along the way, and he does have front wing damage on the left hand side. He doesn't have the sidewall, for a lack of better word, as he misses the braking zone, and he's not going to try to, oh, is he? No, he's not going to try and fit a replacement of the front wing. He's going to try to carry on, but yeah, unfortunately for him, didn't avoid damage, so he's going to manage that one. He's going to have to nurture that until the end of the race, or at least until his next pit stop. Coming back at the front, very cool shot from our helicopter crew. You guys can see, you can tell how close Maranello is to combined YouTube. This might actually be the chance for the Ferrari to take the lead. Of course, no, looks like YouTube still has a bit of tire left. Of course, the tire is softer. It's going to get him a little bit more traction as long as combined YouTube is able to keep its life going. But Maranello baby is not giving him an easy task of letting him sustain the life of his tires. He's making him push to stay ahead. Let's see how it goes on the exits. Touching the curb on the inside, that could have made Maranello spin. He was able to avoid that one. He's going to lose time. He's not going to be able to overtake into turn 1. Is he going to be able to do that into turn 3? Let's see. It's still another DRS zone. The flap, as you can see, is open wide on the back of that Ferrari number 49. Looked like he was going for it, but he decided to back out and wait for a more advantageous moment, perhaps, as Pencil goes into the pits, switching for a set of hards, and as you can see, Pencil overcuts Rysel, and still Rysel was, yeah, it was very uncomfortable. Pencil has managed to extract 1 or 2 more laps of pace from those softs and pulled away. That was the difference between getting himself in front or behind Anthony, it looks like, and Pencil at the moment gets himself up to, well, he gets down to P6, but in the grand scheme of things, he is still ahead of the Ferrari. The Grey, of course, gets promoted the position with the pit stop of Pencil, and we are going to take another look at Maranello Bob, who couldn't overtake, Maranello Baby rather, who couldn't overtake the Red Bull once again into turn 13. Is he going to be able to do the same? Looks like yes, because combined YouTube is going to the pits. He's going to get rid of those softs. He looks like he might go for the hards until the end of the race. So red marked tires off, white marked tires in, and that is going to be, those are going to be the tires he's going to try to take until the end of the race. T-Mac gets promoted to P2. The Grey overtook Speedless in the meantime, and both get promoted to P3 and P4. Speedless, no! Actually, Speedless manages to not be able, it looks like he made a mistake. The Grey got past him. If he had not done that mistake, all three of them would have been past the Red Bull by now, but unfortunately he made that mistake and is now stuck behind the Red Bull. Speedless has much more degraded tires, but they are also softer, so maybe he can still extract a little bit of pace and try to ride the DRS of combined YouTube. Let's see how that goes. Combined YouTube has the freshest tires out of everyone at the moment, so fortunately for him, he's going to have to take, he's going to be able to take these tires until the end without any issues whatsoever. We still have some people who have yet to make their pit stops, as I believe is the case for the Grey, Speedless and Anthony. I don't think any of them have pitted so far. So they still have to make their pit stops, and if they stretch them far enough, they can actually go mediums to softs. Revo is telling us in chat that the game crashed, so yeah, it is very unfortunate. Even though he had the 5th place grid penalty, he was still in good range for contention. As you guys can see, both guys of the front row are now in 4th and 7th, so yeah, everything was open still for Revo. T-Mac coming out of the pits on a set of mediums is going to take those until the end of the Grand Prix. Let's see where he comes out. Looks like he's going to come out of the pits in 8th place, ahead of Torpedo, as Rysel is battling it out with Degree. No Degree, another mistake for Degree, and he's in the wall. There's a bit of carbon fiber there this time around. Second mistake for the McLaren driver. This time around he wasn't able to avoid damage. He's gonna try to rejoin the grid, but yeah, he gets his wing completely destroyed there. He's going to have to go into the pits to replace that one for sure. Very unfortunate. He was doing a very good job. He qualified outside of the top 10, managed to be in the top 5 at one point, but he has done 2 very big mistakes, have really put the damper on his hopes for a good result. Let's see though, everything can still happen. We still have 20 laps to go, and he can still get lucky and manage a good result. Let's see. He's probably going to fit the hards until the end of the race, but the time he's going to lose replacing his front wing might be costly. Now, taking a jump to Pencil, who is fresh out of his pit stop. As you guys can see, both Pencil and Combined YouTube are the effective leaders, I would say, especially as they are now undercutting Maranello. Maranello started on the hards. Pencil and Combined are both on fresher hards. They are the same tires as the leader, but they are fresher, so they have a little bit of a pace advantage, unless Maranello is just that quick and that comfortable on the hards. So let's see how that one develops until the end of the race. The gap from the leader to these two is about 22-23 seconds. So we'll keep tabs on the gap between Combined YouTube and Maranello until the end of the race, as Degree retires from the race. Another mistake. Let me try to see if I can see. Let me try to find out where he is. Maybe he just retired in the pits. No, he actually tried to carry on, and he just retired, and the car is parked on the middle of the straight. So unfortunately, he is retiring from the race. We have now 9 cars racing, so everyone that finishes the race is going to finish in the points. So Pencil has been closing in on Combined YouTube. He has been on the arrest range on the Red Bull driver. A lap ago it was about 9/10 the gap. Now it's dropped down to 6. So let's see how it goes. The arrest is open once again on the back of the Toro Rosso. He is able to dispose of it once again. 1:25.9 was the previous lap time for the Toro Rosso driver, as he sets the new fastest lap of the race. By the way, excuse me, let me just do thing real quick. Okay, now for some reason the game trolled me. Okay, sorry, I had just something else to do on my second monitor. But yeah, it's sorted out. But yeah, the Australian driver is trying to get himself closer to the guy on the older team, the guy on that Red Bull, but is not having as good of a job this lap as he was previously. He actually has dropped some pace compared to Combined YouTube. Of course, he's going to have the arrest now at the exit of turn number 12. Let's see, it looks like to me, giving the eye test, it looks like to me like he had a much better exit out of the high-speed chicane. He's going hard on the brakes now into turn number 13, and yes, the gap is already under half of a second. Let's see how it gets. Let's see how close he gets now through the end of lap number 11. As the leader's already started lap number 12, the gap to the leader is 22.1, so these two guys are consistently gaining time on Maranello. A bit of a tank slapper there from Pencil, and he's going to get back on his work all over again. He probably lost DRS range. Very unfortunate. Oh, Anthony very slow on that corner exit. T-Mac getting DRS available to him. Let's see, is he going to line up for an overtake? Looks like he does. He's going to get it done. Goes on the inside. Both tires are on hards. The Red Bull is trying to hold on to it. Let's see how it goes. We also have a battle between Speedless and Rysel. One Renault rather moves up a place. The other goes down a place as Rysel moves up 2P4. Just gets a 3-second time penalty though. The Ferrari driver, rather unfortunate from the Ferrari driver there. A little bit of lack of discipline, and that might prove costly. Of course, Speedless still has to pit. He's been only onto these tires for 11 laps. He needs to hold onto them a little bit more if he wants to win the race on the softs. I would say he has to pit at about lap 17, lap 18, maybe lap 16, because the car is gonna get lighter on fuel later on the race, so potentially you could get more laps out of the softs because the car is lighter, so as not as much pressure is put on the tires and on the brakes, so maybe it could take the softs a little bit longer. But still, a bit of a more audacious strategy there from the Renault driver. Moving back to Pencil, looks like he managed to recover. Before his mistake, he wasn't lapping as fast, and he's actually recovered, and he's been closer than ever before. Actually, he has never been this close to combined YouTube before his mistake, so he really pushed, really got back very close to the rear diffuser of that Red Bull. And as soon as I was speaking about Speedless extending the tires, he actually goes into the pits for a set of hards, and those are the tires he's going to finish the race on. So he probably started on the mediums too. If he had good enough tire wear, he would go on the softs. If not, he would go on the hards, getting himself both options open for him. But unfortunately, he's not able to go on the red compound, or the red marked compound, as Pencil gets a 3-second time penalty, and that exit benefited him quite a lot, but he makes a mistake, goes too deep into turn number 13, and it is Pencil dropping down a place once again to combine YouTube. The battle between these two made them drop a second to Maranello, baby. As you guys can see, Maranello increased the gap to these two once again. T-Mac, we have the message there from Race Control. T-Mac gets a 3-second penalty awarded to him by extending the track limits one too many times. A better exit, I believe, from Pencil. He also has DRS wide open on the back of that Toro Rosso. Sells the dummy on the Red Bull. The Red Bull gives the space. Very clean racing there from combined YouTube. Pencil is going to try to have a go around the outside of turn 4. It's quite tight there, and trying to get on the switchback. Combined YouTube at the exit of turn 5, but very, very well done. Very clean, very good to see the clean racing from these two. Very quick, very hard, but above all, very clean racing between these two. Brilliant maneuver there from Pencil to sell the dummy on the Red Bull, force him onto the outside, and then compromise his exit into turn 4, allowing him to go around the outside. He had to go over that big sausage curb that very easily could have disturbed the balance of his Toro Rosso, but sometimes luck favors the brave, and he managed to get himself up to P2. But that battle is getting themselves losing place. It's now 24 seconds the gap to Maranello, baby. I am not sure how much time one loses by going into the pits, but at this pace, Maranello might come out of the pits on softs ahead of the pair that we have on your monitors. So it's now combined YouTube's turn of having DRS. Is not going to pull the trigger just now. He's going to try to get a better exit. You can see he's getting quite low on his DRS count right now. Let's see how it goes. Looks like Pencil is gone. That's a bit on the limit there. Maybe combined YouTube should have switched the lanes a bit more aggressively, going further to the right. But Pencil, yeah, it's... I don't like to see, giving my personal opinion, I don't like to see that one, but there was nothing wrong with it. In terms of the rules, combined YouTube just just should have turned in a bit more to the right, or sorry, to the left, and a bit sooner as well would have helped him a bit. Hopefully no damage though to the front wing of that Red Bull. But let's see how that goes. We have Torpedo and Anthony on the pits. Torpedo is going to fit a set of mediums to take them to the end. Anthony is replacing his front wing, so he's gonna lose time doing that. And Torpedo is doing the same as well. So that advantage that the Toro Rosso could have had gets nullified, and they are going to race each other. So we have at both ends of the field, we have the Toro Rosso and the Red Bull battling each other. Torpedo battles Anthony, and Combined YouTube battles Pencil. So very nice to see. Actually, I don't know if you guys managed to catch that one, but Pencil is... yeah, Pencil and Combined YouTube are about to lap their teammates. So that might get quite interesting as we get until the end of the race. I can see Ray in chat rooting for Pencil, but I don't know, man. Maranello still has to pit. He's going for softs, and Pencil and Combined have been battling so much that since Pencil and Combined pitted, Maranello baby actually pulled away from them. The gap is now almost 25 seconds. Again, I don't remember how much time, I don't know how much time a driver loses by going into the pits, but Maranello might come out of the pits ahead of these two that are battling for currently P2 and maybe eventually for the lead. Torpedo trying to go preemptively, letting these two go, and now Anthony... oh, there's a collision between the teammates! Anthony blocking Combined YouTube, and there's a spin. There was probably damage as well in the front wings, and yeah, there's definitely damage in the front wing of Combined YouTube. Anthony, I don't know if he has damage on his wing. Yes, he does. Both Red Bulls with damage there. And yeah, he's going to the pits once again, but unfortunately that was shaping up to be a beautiful battle between Pencil and Combined YouTube. Anthony went to the apex. He should have slowed. If you are going to slow down, make sure the cars get past you before the corner. Don't try to get into the corner alongside, because the difference in speed is very big. But Anthony not respecting that rule and manages to get contact with his teammate, out of all people, and pretty much ruins the battle that was shaping up to be a very good one between these two. Maranello baby, though, he actually is not going for the softs. He gets on the mediums, and look at that, he actually comes out of the pits ahead of everyone. So he's going to get himself very nicely done into the lead, and he might ride this one out. He has the freshest tires, also the softest tires, so this might be an easy race win for the Maranello baby, unless he does any mistake. Pencil though, he has 10 laps old hard, so but he does have very good pace. Let's see how the gap develops between these two until the end of the race. One driver that you must not count out as well for a good result is Rystel. Rystel has been recovering, and of course he has new medium tires on his car. Of course he doesn't have too big of a difference between Rystel's and the tires of the cars ahead of him, but he might get close to them rather soon due to the difference of compound. He has mediums, as every car in front of him has hards. Apart from Maranello, we have Combined YouTube going to the pits for another set of hards, which I find odd. I would just, if you went for softs, I mean softs maybe is a bit too much, but if you went for mediums, it would have been fine. But Combined YouTube on brand new hards comes out of the pits in P4, 7 seconds behind T-Mac, so he can still have a go and finish on the podium instead of crawling himself until the end of the race with considerable damage to his front wing. But it might be a prey to Rysel, who's trying to charge. He's getting ever closer to the rear end of Speedlust right in front of him. The number 6 trying to get closer to the number 65, if I'm not mistaken, the number of that Renault. Yes, indeed, it is the 65. Let's go on boards then with the Ferrari driver getting very close. Got a better exit there out of turn 10. And let's see, turns 12, 11 and 12. Who is the braver of the two? Speedless getting a bit of corner cutting action there. I don't know if you got a warning for that one, but nonetheless, Rysel has the RS and potentially more fuel. I don't know. At least in ERS, he's quite low on ERS. Very, very low on ERS. He has some saving to do for sure. But he moves up to P5. That's all that matters at the moment. Let's see if Speedlust retributes the favor. No, looks like he's already lost too much time. He does have much more ERS than Rysel. And if it was just a battle on that department, he would have had the advantage. But Speedlust is already struggling too much with his pace. Rysel is going to pull away. Now, it's going to be interesting to see the gap in terms of pace between Rysel's mediums and fresher but harder combined YouTube's hard tires. Let's see how it goes. By the way, LGS, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? Does any driver have the number 15 on their car? I actually do not know. If anyone has, I haven't noticed. But yeah, just monitoring the gap between combined YouTube and Rysel, and also between combined and the car ahead, the Renault of T-Mac. The gap hasn't been closing down too quickly for either car, really. Rysel got 2/10 on the previous lap, but it's 7 seconds with 9 laps to go. Combined YouTube's tires are fresher, and these tires are gonna degrade slower than Rysel's. So let's see how it goes. Spin still gets a 3-second time penalty. Unfortunately, a time penalty for the Toro Rosso driver, which has been ever since Maranello went into the pits, has been pulling away, of course, much fresher and softer tires on top of that. So he has every advantage. He needs to be calm, cool and collected and take home the win. Let's see. Though combined has closed the gap to T-Mac by almost a second through the last few corners. I don't know if the Renault driver made any mistakes, but the gap was over 4 seconds a while ago. Now it's just under 3. So very big mistake from T-Mac, if there was one. And the combined YouTube is going to chase down the Renault. Let's see how it goes between these two. I'm going to follow on board with the Red Bull driver. Speedlust is definitely losing out time to Rysel. Rysel has already carved a gap of 1.6 seconds to the Renault. Apollo Pepsi is still too far behind as well. Rysel gets a 3-second time penalty and Rysel retired. Is he out? Did he crash? Looks like he did crash. He lost the rear at the exit of turn 12 and he's in the wall and he's out of the Grand Prix. What an unfortunate mistake there from Rysel. And yeah, he promotes everybody up. Apollo, Torpedo and Anthony, all of them get promoted 1 place. Very unfortunate mistake there from the Ferrari driver. As we have combined YouTube going to challenge T-Mac for the last of the podium pink positions, as Apollo Pepsi is going into the pits for a set of softs. I don't know if he really has anyone that could jump him. Torpedo is too far behind. I would say Anthony is even further behind than Torpedo. Yeah, probably Pepsi is going to come out of the pits ahead of those two, and I don't think he's going to challenge Speedlust, but let's see. It's 30 seconds the gap between Pepsi and Speedlust. I don't think there's going to be any challenge for that one. Combined YouTube, though, speaking of a challenge, is ever closer to the rear end of T-Mac. Looks like he didn't get the best of exits out of turn 12, but he's going to get DRS, which is going to help him quite a bit. Let me take a look at the ERS. Yeah, T-Mac has much better ERS, or much more ERS, or sorry, much more energy on his battle on his battery. God damn it, I can't speak English. Sorry about that. But I'm going to try and have a better look at their steering wheels, as we have combined YouTube getting a better exit, getting the RS. That's how it goes. T-Mac is trying to follow the slipstream, trying to have a chance perhaps of responding, but I think the Red Bull is going to have the RS again. Yes, he does. And he might pull away. I'm going to have a try and look at the amount of fuel each car has. So give me a moment. No, sorry, I can't really tell. The numbers are too small. So I can't really tell how much fuel T-Mac has on his car. I know he has more ERS at his disposal, but he's already dropped over a second to the Red Bull, so it's just how it is. Unfortunately, he's not able to keep up with, of course, the gap or the difference in tire wear. Combined only has 4 laps on those hards. T-Mac has 13 laps, but still very respectable 4th place for the Renault driver. Speedless looks like he's also going to finish right behind his teammate, as we have 6 laps to go here at Albert Park in our inaugural round of the AOC, the Adrenaline Online Championship, round 1 of our Asia Pacific Championship. Hey Tyler Bevins, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing, man? But yeah, let's get ourselves jumping back to Maranello, baby. Just let's follow a little bit more of the Ferrari driver. Again, he did not get the best of starts, but he qualified on the hards, got himself in the top 5 on hards, so he managed to get himself a good first stint, especially considering the mistakes from Rysel, the mistakes from Pencil, and even combined YouTube involving in battles with the other guys. So all of them lost time to Maranello throughout the first sector. And then once all of those guys pitted, because in the first sector the other guys were supposed to pull away from Maranello because they were on softs and Maranello was on hards. They were supposed to pull away, but Pencil and combined battled so much that Maranello was always able to keep himself going with the RS, always keeping himself in contention. And after they pitted, Maranello inherited the lead, but all others continued to battle each other. So Maranello just managed to keep himself cool, keep himself collected, manage his tires, keep himself out of trouble, and managed the race beautifully, so much that he actually gets into the pits for a set of mediums and comes out of the mediums still over 3 seconds away from everybody else, and gets himself a very big chance at taking the win. In the meantime, both Pencil and Combined have done their mistakes. Combined actually had an inter-team collision. Combined collided with his teammate when his teammate was trying to let him pass, but unfortunately Anthony didn't slow down as much as he probably should have. He should have made sure his teammate was passed on the straight, not on the corner. And yeah, Anthony didn't slow down enough, and both Red Bulls collided on the apex of turn number 14. That was over for the chances of Combined YouTube for challenging for the second place. We have yellow flags somewhere. No one changed places, so I can't really tell where that might have happened. Looks like it was something with Torpedo though. Torpedo, he doesn't have wing damage, but looks like he made a mistake, maybe a spin. As we had yellow flags, the situation is sorted out though. But yeah, taking a look at the gaps, it's quite big differences between everyone. Combined YouTube is 19 seconds away from Pencil. Pencil somehow has lost 30 seconds. I guess he pitted again. Yes, Pencil has pitted again for a set of mediums. Just to make sure, I guess, that he pulls away from Combined YouTube, that he covers the Red Bull driver. T-Mac is 4 seconds away from Combined YouTube, but look at the difference in tires. It's very unlikely T-Mac has a chance to overtake Combined YouTube unless the Red Bull driver makes any mistakes. Then we have Speedless 5 seconds behind his teammate. He might be able to challenge for something. if he gets good enough pace. We have 4 laps to go. If he could maybe capitalize on the mistake of his teammate, we might have a battle between the Renaults for the last positions of these top 5. Apollo Pepsi actually went into the pits twice, if I'm not mistaken, but he manages to still claim some points as he got on a set of softs, and also took advantage of some mistakes from others, because if no one retired, he would still be out of the points paying positions. So well done from Apollo Pepsi. Torpedo got himself solidified in 7th place, but he's going to the pits though. Anthony is 41 seconds behind, so maybe he's not really under much pressure. But Torpedo is going for another set of tires. Let's see what set of tires is the Toro Rosso driver opting to fit on his car. It's going to be the red marked softs, and he might be going for the fastest lap. Of course, we have the points attributed to the fastest lap holder, given that they are within the top 10. Every car racing right now is on the top 10, so whoever gets the fastest lap out of these guys is gonna take that point home. Let's see, let's follow Torpedo through this outlap and then his next lap, or his quote-unquote flying lap. He does have Speedless right behind him, so maybe he'll get his not red flags, but blue flags shown at him. As Anthony, maybe he crashed, because there are yellow flags in Sector 1 and Anthony is out of the race, so very unfortunate there for the Red Bull driver. But we're gonna see what Torpedo can do. Could the number 87 get himself the position, well, not the position, sorry, could he get himself the points awarded for the fastest lap? He just got a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits one too many times for the steward's liking. Let's see what he does. We're gonna get on board with Torpedo. Apollo Pepsi went into the pits again. Oh, Torpedo was letting Speedless pass. That's gonna kill his momentum. I thought he was going to try and go for the fastest lap. Maybe he's trying to do that at the last lap of the race. Apollo Pepsi is on brand new softs as well, so maybe we have a fight here between the Mercedes and the Toro Rosso for the fastest lap of the race. Let's take a look at him though. Does he have anyone around him? Doesn't look like he has anyone around him at the moment. So he is currently with clean air in front of him. All around him, no one is really around to bother him. So the number 13 could get the point of the fastest lap. Let's see how he does. Let's get on board with him. Let's check his next lap, see what he does. I guess this is just his out lap, so to speak, right? So let's see what he does on the next lap. As there was someone coming out of the pace. Maranello! It's Maranello going out of the pits on softs. So it is an opportunity for Maranello to get himself the fastest lap of the race. So it might be, maybe Apollo Pepsi doesn't have what it takes. Let's see what Apollo can do, and then let's see the answer from Maranello. Apollo is actually closing in through that first sector. He might be on range for DRS, and if he is, that could be the differentiating factor, awarding him the fastest lap of the race. Let's see, is he going to have DRS at the next DRS zone? Let's see, he's getting closer to Maranello. He's going to get slipstream for sure, especially I missed a little bit of the apex on the entry. He corner cut the exit, which I guess is fine, but he's going to get a bit of slipstream. He got DRS as well, so that might help him quite a bit. Let's see, I don't know if he got his lap invalidated for that corner cut at the high-speed chicane. Let's find out though. That's himself through the last couple corners, and he's getting DRS once again, getting the slipstream, giving it all from his power unit, and he's going to get a 1:23.5. He's not the fastest lap of the race, so we are going to jump to Maranello. Looks like he's going to be himself grabbing the point. Let's see what he does. I don't know who is at this point the holder of the flying lap. I believe it is Pencil, the holder of the flying lap so far. But yeah, just overall a brilliant race from Maranello. Unfortunately, Revo wasn't able to take part in the race. On qualifying, he got a 5th place grid penalty for a collision with another car. And then on the loading for the race, his game crashed, so he wasn't able to take part of the race. That was quite chaotic, and honestly, from Maranello, Pencil combined, Rysel and Revo, if Revo took part of the race, every one of those 5 could have taken the win today. But looks like it's going to be here at the first race of the season. Maranello, baby, with a very fitting name. Exactly where this trophy is going to be. Maranello is going to cross over the line to take home the win of the Australian Grand Prix. He comes over the line to take over the win of the Australian Grand Prix. Fastest lap as well from the Maranello, baby, taking himself the extra points. Pencil finishes in P2. Apollo Pepsi already crossed the line. It's going to be combined YouTube in P3. After his incident with his teammate, he managed to still recover and get himself the final step of the podium. Nicely done from the Red Bull driver. T-Mac is going to get 4th place, or maybe not. Speedless closed in quite a lot. We might have some penalties come into play. Let's see. T-Mac crosses the line in 4th. Speedless crosses in 7th, but he actually jumps his teammates. Speedless crosses over the line and gets promoted up to P4, and then Torpedo behind also completed this race in 6th place. So we're gonna get on the podium. And I'm pretty sure the team is very happy with him, both on the pit crew side of things and back at base at Maranello. Ferrari are once again on the F1 step, on the top step of the podium for our inaugural round of the Adrenaline Online Championship. P2 was Pencil, who fought bravely with combined YouTube, but couldn't at the end, just didn't have what it takes to challenge the Ferrari, and then combined YouTuber gets himself the last podium paying position. So let's get ourselves our official results. Look at that, 9 seconds of penalties from Pencil, only 1 penalty from combined YouTuber, but Maranello, the Indian driver, gets himself the win, followed by Pencil, combined YouTuber P3, Speedless P4, T-Mac P5, Apollo Pepsi in P6, and was the last Torpedo in P7, the last of the race finishers. I don't know if the others are going to finish, are going to get awarded the points. I don't know if there are rules for a given percentage of laps completed before being awarded the points. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm sure we are going to get that sorted out, and each points of each driver are going to be displayed to you guys at the beginning of the next transmission on the drivers and constructors standings. So this is it for today. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like button. If you did not, the dislike button is, as always, right beside it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hit the bell icon for any notifications of whenever I'm about to start a live stream or to post a video. Hope to see you guys next time, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.